Hey, English learners, welcome back to the Millie English Podcast, your cozy place to learn easy English through real-life conversations. I'm Millie, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. Maybe you're commuting to work, taking a lunch break, or relaxing after a long day. Wherever you are, I'm glad you pressed play. This episode is around B1 to B2 level, so the English is natural and conversational. Something you can really use in your professional life. You don't need to understand every single word to learn something. Just grab the parts you understand, borrow the sentences you like, and let the rest pass by. No pressure, no stress. Real conversation first. Vocabulary hidden inside. No boring corporate jargon while you're trying to enjoy your day. At the end, we'll do a calm little word tour. We'll pick some useful phrases from the episode, explain them, and help them stay in your mind. If you enjoy learning English like this, you can like this episode and subscribe to the Millie English Podcast. It really helps more learners find us. And I'd love to hear from you. After you listen, write one sentence in the comments. Tell me, what's the hardest part of using English at work? Okay, so today we're talking about professional English. But not the boring formal stuff you learned in textbooks. I'm talking about real career communication that actually gets results. The kind that helps you land jobs, impress your boss, and advance your career. Because here's what I've learned. You don't need perfect English to succeed professionally, but you do need strategic English. You need to know what to say in meetings, how to write emails that get responses, and how to speak with confidence even when you're nervous. So today, I'm going to share the exact communication strategies that changed my career. Real phrases, real situations, real results. By the end of this episode, you'll have practical tools to sound more professional and confident at work. So take a deep breath with me, get comfortable, and let's talk about career communication that actually works in 2026. My professional English disaster. Let me tell you about the time my English almost cost me a promotion. This happened about 3 years ago. I was working at a company where most communication was in English. My English was good enough for daily tasks. I could understand emails. I could follow meetings. But I wasn't speaking up. In meetings, I'd have great ideas, but I'd stay quiet. I was too nervous about making mistakes. When I did speak, I'd use phrases like, maybe we should, or I'm not sure, but I sounded uncertain, hesitant, not like someone ready for leadership. Then one day, my manager pulled me aside. She said, "You're doing great work, but you're invisible in meetings. Speak up more." And that hit me hard, because it wasn't about my work quality. It was about my communication. I was working hard but not showing it. I realized that in professional environments, how you say something is almost as important as what you say. If you sound uncertain, people assume you're uncertain. So I decided to study professional communication like a language. I watched how confident speakers talked in meetings. I analyzed their word choices. I practiced writing emails that sounded professional but not robotic. And slowly, things changed. People started listening when I spoke. Not because my English became perfect, but because I learned to communicate strategically. The 3 rules of professional English. Let me share the 3 fundamental rules I discovered about professional communication. These apply whether you're writing or speaking. Rule 1. Be clear, not clever. In professional settings, clarity beats creativity. Don't try to sound fancy. Don't use complicated words to impress people. Say what you mean in the simplest, clearest way possible. "We need to finish this by Friday" is better than "we should endeavor to complete this initiative by week's end." People are busy. They appreciate directness. When you're clear, you're respected. Rule 2. Be confident, not arrogant. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is saying, "I recommend we try this approach." Arrogance is saying, "This is obviously the only solution." Confidence leaves room for discussion. It shows you're sure of yourself, but open to feedback. Use phrases like, "Based on the data, I believe," or, "In my experience, this approach works because..." You sound professional without sounding like you think you know everything. Rule 3. Be concise, not abrupt. Professional communication should be brief, but not rude. Cut unnecessary words, but keep the warmth. Instead of, "I hope this email finds you well, and I wanted to reach out to discuss the possibility of perhaps meeting," say, "I'd like to schedule a meeting to discuss the project. Are you available this week?" shorter but still polite and professional. These 3 rules changed how I communicate, and they work in every professional situation. Email communication that gets results. Let's talk about emails first, because in 2026, email is still crucial for professional communication. Your subject line determines if your email gets read. Make it specific. Bad. Question. Good. Budget approval needed by March 15th. Don't waste time with long pleasantries. Get to the point quickly. Instead of, I hope this email finds you well, try, I'm writing to request feedback on the proposal. Tell people exactly what you need. Weak. Let me know your thoughts. Strong. Could you review this and share feedback by Thursday? End with clarity about next steps. Please let me know if you have questions. I'll follow up Friday if I haven't heard back. Email phrases I use constantly. I wanted to touch base about just following up on. I'd appreciate your input on. Thanks for your time. These phrases are professional but warm. They get responses without sounding pushy. Speaking confidently in meetings. Meetings are where careers are built or broken. Here's how to communicate effectively. Wait for a natural pause, then use a bridge phrase. Can I add something to that? Or, building on what you said. Don't diminish your own ideas. Weak. This might be stupid, but strong. I suggest we consider this approach because you can disagree without being disagreeable. I see it differently. Here's why. Or, that's a good point. My concern is, if you don't understand something, ask. Could you elaborate on that? Or, just to make sure I understand correctly, end clearly so people know you're done. So, to summarize, I think this gives others permission to respond. Networking and small talk professionally. Professional success isn't just about formal communication. It's also about building relationships. Start simple at networking events. Hi, I'm Millie. What brings you here today? Or, what do you do? Ask follow-up questions. That sounds interesting. How did you get into that field? People love talking about themselves. Have a 30-second introduction ready. I work in marketing, specializing in digital strategy. I help companies grow their online presence. Exchange contact information naturally. I'd love to continue this conversation. Can we connect on LinkedIn? Always follow up within 48 hours. Send a brief message after. It was great meeting you at the event. I enjoyed our conversation about the topic. Let's stay in touch. Job interview English that impresses. Let's talk about interviews. This is where professional English matters most. For tell me about yourself, keep it structured. Currently, I work as a project manager. Before that, I spent 3 years in customer service. I'm interested in this role because it aligns with my leadership goals. Discuss strengths with examples. One of my strengths is problem solving. When we faced a deadline issue, I developed a workflow that saved 2 weeks. Handle weakness strategically. I used to struggle with delegating, but I've been working with a mentor and I've learned that trusting my team improves results. Ask smart questions. What does success look like after 6 months? Or, what are the biggest challenges facing the team? Follow up within 24 hours. Thank you for meeting with me. I'm excited about the opportunity and believe my experience would be valuable. Please let me know if you need additional information. Handling difficult conversations. Not all professional conversations are easy. Here's how to handle tough situations. For asking for a raise, be direct. I'd like to discuss my compensation. Based on my contributions and market research, I believe an adjustment is appropriate. Can we schedule a time? Give feedback using the sandwich method. I appreciate your effort. I noticed the report had some inconsistencies. Let's review it together so the final version is strong. Receive criticism professionally. Thank you for the feedback. Can you give me an example? I'll work on that moving forward. Say no to extra work carefully. I'd like to help, but I'm currently at capacity with current projects. Can we prioritize or extend the deadline? Address misunderstandings calmly. I think there might be some confusion. Let me clarify what I meant. What changed in my career? Let me tell you what happened after I improved my professional English communication. First, I got that promotion I mentioned earlier. My manager noticed I was contributing more in meetings. My ideas were heard. Second, I built stronger relationships at work. People started coming to me for advice. I became known as someone who communicates well. Third, my confidence grew. I stopped fearing presentations and meetings. I knew what to say and how to say it. Fourth, I opened international opportunities. Companies look for people who can communicate across cultures. Professional English is a global skill. And fifth, I became a better leader. Clear communication is essential for leadership. My team respected me because I was direct and supportive. None of this happened because my English became perfect. It happened because I learned to use English strategically in professional contexts. Word tour, let's lock these in. All right, it's time to slow everything down. We've covered a lot today, and I want some of these phrases to really stay in your English. So let's do a calm word tour together. No stress, just listen. Jargon. Jargon means specialized language used by a particular profession or group. For example, avoid too much jargon in emails. Keep it simple. Or corporate jargon can be confusing. Land a job. Land a job means to successfully get a job. For example, good communication helps you land better jobs. Or, she finally landed her dream job. Speak up. Speak up means to say something, especially when it's difficult or you're nervous. For example, you need to speak up more in meetings. Or, don't be afraid to speak up. Invisible. Invisible means not seen or noticed. For example, staying quiet makes you invisible at work. Or, I felt invisible in that team. Touch base. Touch base means to make contact or check in with someone briefly. For example, let me touch base with you next week. Or, I wanted to touch base about the project. Following up. Following up means contacting someone again about something discussed before. For example, just following up on my previous email. Or, I'm following up to see if you need anything. Bridge phrase. A bridge phrase is a transitional expression that connects ideas or lets you enter a conversation. For example, use a bridge phrase to join the discussion, or building on that is a good bridge phrase. Diminish. Diminish means to make something seem less important or valuable. For example, don't diminish your own ideas by saying maybe. Or, his constant apologies diminished his authority. Combative. Combative means aggressive or argumentative. For example, disagreeing doesn't mean being combative. Or, his combative tone made people uncomfortable. At capacity. At capacity means completely full or busy, unable to take on more. For example, I'm at capacity with current projects. Or, the team is at capacity right now. Top of mind. Top of mind means the first thing someone thinks about. For example, a thank you email keeps you top of mind. Or, stay top of mind with regular follow-ups. Back it up. Back it up means to support something with evidence or examples. For example, back up your request with specific achievements. Or, can you back that up with data? There you go. 12 useful phrases from today's episode. You don't need to memorize all of them right now. Even if 2 or 3 stay with you, that's already amazing. So before we say goodbye, I want to give you one practical challenge for this week. Choose one professional situation you face regularly. Maybe it's weekly team meetings, maybe it's client emails, maybe it's presentations. Take that situation and practice the phrases I shared today. Write a sample email, practice speaking out loud, make it specific to your actual work, use real names, real projects. The more realistic your practice, the more confident you'll feel. Then come back and write one sentence in the comments. Tell me, what professional situation did you practice? How did it feel? I want to celebrate your progress, because improving professional communication is career-changing. If this episode gave you practical tools for work, please like this video and subscribe to the Millie English Podcast. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for investing in your career and your communication skills. Professional English isn't about being perfect. It's about being clear, confident, and strategic, and you just learned how. I'm Millie, and you've been listening to the Millie English Podcast. Bye.